Hey guys, this is George. I'm the owner of MGW Precision. I want to show you guys a really cool product if you own a CNC machine shop or even a manual shop that uses Kurt vises with the standard 3/4 inch hexes on them. We do a lot of production here, and we have a lot of issues where we have machines that are extremely compact, and you can see this machine's all the way at Y0 and the handle is very close to the door as it closes. I'm sure anybody that's owned a CNC machine shop long enough has heard the inevitable crash where an operator puts a Kurt vise handle or a chick handle, leaves it in, and then as it's rapiding, it pops open like this on the way forward at the end of the cycle, crashes through the door. As you can see, that's a good 3-4 inches beyond the door, or breaks a window or smashes the vise handle and just causes a lot of problems and could damage your machine. So I decided I wanted to make one of those handles that attaches to the vise easily. The other issue I've seen is that if the vise is left and it doesn't crash, but it vibrates loose, it bangs down into here, it can roll down into the bottom floor of the machine, and this machine has chip augers in the back, and if it gets caught in those chip augers, it will cause a lot of problems. It can overload the motor, it can actually break the auger, and it costs a lot of money. So we decided to come up with a really nice solution to that problem. So as a machine shop owner, and obviously not having a lot of free time to make products because of all of our other products that we make, I decided to go to McMaster-Carr or MSC and buy one of these. I'm sure you guys are familiar with these if you own a machine shop or a manual shop and you work with Kurt vises. These are they call them quick handles or speed handles, and they're designed to go across the hex, and they're used for, when you don't need a lot of force, but they're also used, a lot of people use them and leave them on there in manual machines. They have some issues and some problems though, and we bought a bunch of them over the years, but they always end up in a drawer of one of my operators because I ask him why he's not using them, and here are the reasons. One is you really can't leave it on there because it can vibrate loose. As you can see, they're not very precision. This is not a very tight fit on the hex, so you get a lot of wearing out of the handle over time. And when you look at it inside, you can see it's already kind of rounded out and egged out. So it doesn't stay in contact, which means it can fall off during CNC operation. Now, if you have a manual machine, obviously not so much of an issue. But the biggest problem was ergonomics and how it feels with your body when you're trying to clamp it. This is a very unnatural angle. When you go to tighten something, you really want to tighten it in line, bring your hand down and tighten it like that, which is how a standard Kurt vise handle is. These, where you rotate your wrist to tighten it, puts a lot of stress up on your shoulder right here. So to us, over time, when we're doing thousands and thousands of cycles, this can really start to wear on an operator. So we wanted something that was more ergonomic, also more compact, but also has a lot more options and versatility to it. So this was the supposed solution, but we went a step further and made something much better. So this is our product. It's called the Grappler handle. It is CNC machined out of 6061 aluminum and mated to a 303 stainless handle. This is the body of the part that actually attaches to the vise. As you can see, it's got a set screw so you can lock it in place. And the handles are very quick change. We have 2 different lengths, and we can obviously offer different lengths to customer demands. It's undercut, so you don't have the dreaded set screw putting a dent in the handle and making it hard to get out. It just literally slides in there. You take your Allen wrench, and you do not have to get it very tight, again, because of that undercut. So you just get it snug and it's not coming out. Very easy to change them out. And then obviously this tightens up on the vise. Now we use stainless steel screws as well for 2 reasons. One, they don't rust, but more importantly, they're quite a bit softer than the hex, the hardened hex on the Kurt vises or chick vises. So it's not going to put an indentation on the vise handle. So that's how you attach it. Let me take this handle out and I'll show you why we have basically 3 configurations. So you can actually use this Grappler handle all by itself. It's got a really good feel to it. You can grab it with your hand and you can tighten it. We use this a lot because we do a lot of very fragile plastics or very thin-walled aluminum components like our Scudo wallets. And we actually just need wrist pressure to tighten it up, and I'll show you back at the vise. But when you need a little bit more pressure, we have our standard handle, which is here, and the kit will come with both handles. And this is our extended handle when you need a lot of mechanical force to tighten up something very tight. But that's the basic design. As you can see, it's ergonomic, it's angled away from the vise, and it's also designed for nesting. And we'll go back to the vises and I'll show you what I mean by that. All right, in order to prep these vises for the MGW Grappler, since ours is quite a bit more of a precision component than that little speed vise handle, you might have to file just the ends here from the years and years of use with a standard Kurt vise, because the vise handle boogers these up. So you simply would just hit it lightly with a file right there on the end until you get a nice smooth flat, and then just go all the way around the hex and just make sure that the burrs are gone. You don't want to jam the handle on there because obviously you want to be able to slide it on and off and not have to mar up the aluminum or get it stuck on here and try to beat it off with a hammer. So let's see if this works. Yeah, that's how you want it. Nice and smooth like that, or it'll come off and on easily. Okay, let's go ahead and get some of these grappler handles loaded on this machine. And as you can see, we are using a machine that has a very, very tight spacing on the vises, because a lot of people advertise these handles that they'll fit between the vises, but the vises are 6 inches gap between them. So these have less than an inch gap in between them. So this is a good exercise to show how compact these handles can be and how you can nest them. So slide it up on there and you can put it all the way down in there. I like to pull it back about like that, maybe a little bit in. That way I have the most amount of clearance for my knuckles to not hit the vise. But as you can see, there's still a very good gap on this machine, and this is all the way at home. So that works good, and that's one of the longer handle grapplers, and see, as you can see, it tightens real nice. Then we'll do the standard handle on the center one, and again, you can put it all the way back there if you want, but if you pull it back here, it clears nicely. Your hand doesn't hit that one. Go ahead and tighten that one up. And then lastly, we'll take the one without the handle and just assume that this is a very sensitive setup here. So we'll just find out where it's tight. Yeah, just like that. And we'll go ahead and tighten that one up. So if you look up here on the top, you can see how we contoured these so that they have absolutely, not only are they ergonomic to clear your knuckles, but I'll show you how they work. When you want to go through all three in production, you basically loosen the first one, bring it over, loosen the second one, bring it over, and watch how the long handle clears because of the way we contoured the handles. It works very well. And then when you go to tighten them, obviously just reverse the location. You started in the left, you want to start on the right when you tighten them so that they bring them back in, tight, bring it back in, tight, bring it back over, tight. So it really works well, and as you can see, they're completely solid, stable. They're not going anywhere. They're not going to fall down in your machine. They're not going to crash into the door. And they're just easier to work with. Your hands, it's got a very nice smooth feel to it. It doesn't wear out on your hands. And like I said, this one, you have a lot of very, very sensitive adjustability.